Alright. Here we go, back again with another episode here on the other side of the coin. Hi guys, welcome to the other side of the coin. Taking a slight break from the mini series, which has been well received by most people. Thought I'll come back and do some of my own opinions again. The mini series will be back either tomorrow or day after, just to round things up. But one thing I want to talk about in recent times, which I've seen in football Twitter specifically, the argument of Conte versus Sarri. It just keeps popping up every now and then, and we are sort of forced to choose one or the other. And I really hate this, because for me, both were unique type of managers and both had their positives and their negatives as well. So it's very difficult to pick between the two. Yes, you can have an opinion, but at the end of the day, you can't disregard one and go for the other. You need to look at both of them in the perspective that they deserve to be looked at. So I thought it's timely to look at these two managers at a more broader perspective and really try and knuckle down what were their positives and negatives. And at the end of the day, I don't want to choose between the two. I just want to place both the cases and pretty much appreciate both the managers at the same time. So first of all, Antonio Conte. When he came into Chelsea, obviously he didn't play his classic 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, whatever. The formation that he truly loves. He didn't initially play like that. Straight after the Arsenal, loss, or even from halftime from that Arsenal match early on, he changed things up, and from there on, I feel he kind of revolutionized the Premier League with that formation. And of course, we went on with the winning streak, and we ended up winning in that season, the first season of Conte. So, the positives for me were obviously the formational change, bringing something totally different, believing in what he, has trusted for so long. But most importantly, his desire, his attitude in the touchline. He used to connect with the fans. He was very dynamic with his facial expressions and his excitement. You could see that football means so much to him. He's just that type of a person. He just gets the crowd with him and basically gets them involved in the game. So that was fantastic. And of course, the tactical side of things were brilliant. We were a counter-attacking team, so it was a different sort of style that we played. We generally, we weren't massively a possession-based team. We looked for quicker movements from wider areas and, basically score with a quick sort of transition. And that was the recipe for Conte in the first season. Of course, we had some really good players to back him up, which suited his style. And yeah, overall, it was, for me, it was a very exciting season. The way we went on that winning run and the way we ended up winning the title. However, there were lots of negatives as well the season after. The kind of recruitments that we've got now, many can say those weren't his recruitments. He wanted other players, but Chelsea sort of gave him these players as an alternative. Nonetheless, I don't know how much of an input Conte had in that particular transfer market, but we've bought some really poor players, the likes of Bakayoko, Drinkwater, Zappacosta, even Morata, who looked okay in the beginning, but really died off. Now, I know he was looking for someone like Lukaku, and he was looking for someone like Alexandro, as opposed to ended up getting Zappacosta. But I feel if he did have some power, he should have just sanctioned for, I don't want anyone. Either you get me this, or I'll make do with whatever I have, or I'll get the academy involved and try and see if I can get some talent from there. Which he didn't. I don't think he believed in the academy at all. And not many overseas managers tend to believe in the academy. So that was a negative. His man management, I don't think, was the best. The way he dealt with Diego Costa, I don't think that was really, really good in August. The way he dealt with the club at the end of the second season, even not at the end, even just in between, in the middle of the season, where he finally realised that he wasn't going to stick around. Especially that match against Man City in the second season, where completely down tools, just didn't want to play. Pretty much told the team to sit back, don't chase, don't do anything. And that was embarrassing. And that's the kind of manager Conte was. I feel if it's not his way, then that's it. He's going to down tools. So you can't have an erratic manager like that. And as I said, the handling of the players really, really unsettled the team. And yes, it was from winning the Premier League to then capitulating in a manner in the second season. I can understand if you're not going to win, but at least be in that sort of top range of the table. Yes, I think we ended up finishing 5th or whatever, but the difference was just a bit too much with the winner. So for me, those were there were some great positives, but there were some distinct negatives as well towards Conte in terms of the recruitment that was going on, in terms of man manager, in terms of the way he handled things with the club, ended up suing the club as well. So there's ups and downs in that. Now, in regards to Sarri, he's come through and he's been known for a particular philosophy, a legacy, Sarri ball they call it. And when he came in, it was a total different mindset in the football club, in the sense that we're not going to be a counter-attacking team anymore. We're going to be playing a lot more with possession. We're going to hold the ball. We're going to try and dictate the game with possession, try and open teams up with quick movements. And something like that, of course, is going to take time, which I don't think he got. The fans in England really, really got against him, especially in Stamford Bridge in London. The Chelsea fans, that is, really, really got against him. And I've never seen a manager cop so much negativity. I've probably followed Chelsea since late 1990s, around the 2000 mark, and I've never ever seen a manager cop so much negativity in social media, with all the journalists out there. I don't think he was a favourite against the journalists. And it was a shame, because honestly, the man, every time he got into the media, he was actually trying to educate the fans, the wider public, of how he plays, what he did, how he saw the match. There were moments last season where we looked really, really well. We had that unbeaten streak. Hazard, of course, had his best season. We scored. We had several opportunities. The shame was that we didn't finish, just like this season. And it was a different style. It was a different style of season. And, I feel at the end, he just didn't get the time to really showcase what he could have done for this club. And yes, there were negatives as well. There's no doubt there were negatives. He was stubborn with the way he managed the team. He stuck with a particular 11, which, when you think about it, he was looking for consistency. Maybe it wasn't the greatest thing in terms from a fan's perspective, but he was looking for consistency. There were times where he could have changed things around. Obviously, his substitutions were too predictable as well. So that's something that he could have changed things around. Could have been a little bit more pragmatic with certain teams when behind and whatnot, but he believed in a philosophy. So, Chelsea should have known that the kind of coach you're getting is totally different. He believes in a particular, set of principles, and he sticks by it, and he works towards mastering that particular principle until he starts, making variations on top of that. So you look at Sarri's first season, finished third, won the Europa League, and yeah, there was some really, really nice brand of football as well. Yes, mixed in with some really poor performances, which we've seen this season as well. We can say, of course, we've had a transfer ban season, but overall, I believe, if given the time, I think he really would have transformed our football club. But nonetheless, it's gone. And the bottom line is, and looking at his recruitment as well, I think, the likes of Jorginho was a really good purchase in my opinion, with the style of play that we want to play, that we want to impose. Frank has been using Jorginho a lot as well, so he believes in Jorginho. He's put him as vice captain. Kepa, in my opinion, is a pretty good keeper. Yes, he's had a dodgy season, but I still believe that he can improve. So Higuain probably was a rush buy. I don't think, if given the time, I don't think he would have gone with someone like Higuain. So overall, in terms of recruitment, he did a pretty good job. His implementation of Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Callum Hudson-Odoi down the latter part of the season was fantastic as well. And yeah, overall, I think he's definitely a decent manager. And a lot of people give him a really hard time in regards to not winning enough titles. But I don't think a manager should only be judged by how many titles they win. They should see exactly the kind of work they do. And look, he ended up winning the title in the first season of Chelsea anyway. So overall, there's no need to compare between Sarri and Conte. They're both two different styles of ideologies, and they're both effective in their own ways. And now it really depends on how you see your football club playing in the long run, and basically then adopting that style. So there's no reason to choose one or the other. Let's really take the time and embrace both of them, because they've both brought a lot of success to our football club. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinion on this particular matter, how you feel when you see this particular topic come up regularly in social media. What do you think about both of the coaches? Do you like both of them? Do you dislike one, like the other one? Let me know, comment in this video. If you've enjoyed the video, press the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And yeah, look forward to seeing you more in the upcoming mini series that we're going to finish. And there's plenty more plans and content that I'm planning in the future, so look out for that. Until then, see ya.